Hello everybody, Shadowing here, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are once again on Pokemon Showdown, doing another Pokemon comparison video. Excuse me, guys. Anyways, we have Kingler and Gyarados showing up on our roster today in order to see who is truly the strongest of the 151 non-starter water types. That's a bit mouthy. Probably not going to put that in the title. But anyways, Kingler and Gyarados. Two incredibly strong physical water attackers with fairly diversive movesets and abilities. But I feel that Kingler kind of gets overshadowed by Gyarados in many different ways. 1. Gyarados got a Mega Evolution. 2. Anytime in the anime Gyarados has ever showed up, what do you see? A giant water snake. And who doesn't want a giant water snake on their team? Exactly. And 3, and most importantly, it's easier to find a Magikarp than a Krabby. That's simply because, 1, in certain games, they sell them. Or, all you need is an old rod. That's literally it. Any batch of water you go into and use an old rod, guess who you're catching? Magikarp. Exactly. That's the reason why I see Gyarados used a lot more. Plus, Kingler has a few disadvantages against Gyarados. But, then again, Gyarados has a few disadvantages over Kingler. But enough talking about it, let's get to the actual showing of it. Now, the first set I have up here is a maximum attack and speed setup Kingler investment. Actually, it's not max. Well, yeah, it's max. With an adamant nature, Kingler's top all attack is 394, which is even greater than Gyarados. However, with no speed investment nature, we are left with a pitiful 249 speed, which isn't good at all. That is not winning any races ever. Seriously, that is one slow crab. But before we get in too far into his stats, let's also look at his abilities. We have Hyper Cutter, prevents lowering from attack stat, which is very useful if you want to have him as a physical sweeper. Shell Armor to prevent critical hits, also very useful. And Sheer Force. Pokemon attack with secondary effects has 1.3 times power, nullifies the effects. A little annoying about that, but it equals more power, which is useful. And as for the moveset, we got Crab Hammer, strongest water stab move that Kingler has, and also exclusive to only crab type like Pokemon, which is useful. We have Knockoff for disruption, Rock Slide for flying types who can be very annoying, Talonflame. Anyways, and X-Scissor for those speedy psychic types. Now, even with a Choice Scarf, unless you're having maximum speed investment in your Kingler, chances are certain psychic types such as Kadabra and Alakazam who have like 372 speed, at least Alakazam does, before he Mega Evolves and becomes even faster, is going to outspeed Kingler still. But with a Choice Scarf setup, you're going to be able to outspeed a large majority of Pokemon you're going to have to fight. Also, since with Hyper Cutter, you can prevent the people like Gyarados coming in and intimidating you and getting on your nerves, which is useful. Now let's get to the first Gyarados set. Now for Gyarados, I have a leftover set with Intimidate because no one likes high attack Pokemon unless you're using them. We have Thunder Wave, Dragon Dance, Waterfall, and Avalanche. Now you may notice that the stats are a little all over the place because I wanted this to be a somewhat tanky setup Gyarados, something a little different. With excuse me, with no investment, I have a 286 attack, which is not bad at all considering. 230 defense, not nearly as good as Kingler's. By the way, I forgot to mention that. Hold on real quick. I also forgot to mention that, in case you didn't notice, his defense without absolutely any physical investment or nature at all is 266. That is insane, guys. You can have a physical, defensive, tanky-like Kingler for physical attacks, because I should also mention that his special defense is garbage. Same as his special attack, so I won't be expecting to see any Kinglers with Hydro Pump anytime soon, you know what I'm saying? But back to Gyarados. Where Kingler fails with his special attack and special defense, Gyarados has a bit more lenience. Even with only a small amount of investment, Gyarados' special defense goes up to 250, which is far better than Kingler's. And even though I don't have that much speed investment, Gyarados has a couple points on Kingler in speed. And also health. Like Kingler, like maximum investment 394, Kingler 251 without any investment at all. Gyarados can all around be either a physical sweeper or a tanky Pokemon. Or if you're crazy, you can set up a special Gyarados, but God help you. Anyways, on to the second Kingler. This Kingler is more of a setup set with Iron Defense, Crab Hammer, Brick Break, and Knockoff. Also Rocky Helmet, and Sheer Force just to make sure I still hit pretty hard. With maximum HP, well, not maximum, maximum speed and split HP and attack, I'm going to be able to go at least a decent amount of speed and have a good amount of bulk before I can start upsetting iron defenses, which is going to make me tankier than anything. Crab Hammer for still a good amount of damage. Brick Break, essential for when you're fighting someone who loves to use walls with light clay. Oh my god, those are so annoying. And Knockoff because always good to have disruption. On to our second Gyarados, we have a physical sweeper set with 349 maximum attack and 287 maximum speed with a jolly nature in order to make it a little bit faster. But thanks to Dragon Dance and Moxie, we'll definitely be able to make sure that we have very high amounts of attack even though we're not running out of it. Lumberry to prevent things like Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp or Scald Burns or the occasional poison jab poisoning. You know what I'm saying, guys. It's really annoying. And unfortunately for Gyarados, other than Hydro Pump, he doesn't get very many very physically strong water stat moves. Unlike Dive, and it'd be scary if he could learn Aqua Jet. But my point is that he doesn't have as much of a powerful water type move, but that extra ability to flinch is always useful. Now on to the third and final Kingler. This one is a agility dig knockoff, and this had Crab Hammer. Whoops. I don't know what happened to that. And Crab Hammer. This is going to be a maximum health, maximum attack one with agility in order to make it full out sweeping. Enough health to be able to take a couple of hits, at least in physical form, and enough time to get agility going so it's super fast. I also decided to give this one to Lumberry because Will-O-Wisp and all the other things I mentioned with Gyarados, very annoying. And Uppercut it again because I just want to make sure that no Intimidate Pokemon can come and dwindle down Kingler's attack, you know what I mean? However, I should also mention Mega Gyarados. Oh boy, Mega Gyarados. The big dark shrimp. But anyways, Mega Gyarados' tankiness is extraordinary compared to Kingler. Except, well, actually even physically defensive, it's still gotten a lot stronger. The only thing that they're both still about even on is special attack. Even though I have a modest nature for some reason on there. Let me fix that. Excuse me. You also may notice that all the Gyarados movesets have Dragon Dance. Well, to be perfectly honest, if it weren't for Dragon Dance, Gyarados would suffer almost the same problem as Kingler, except being a little bit faster. Its speed is a little lackluster without a little bit of setup. On Dragon Dance, however, you've got maximum attack and maximum speed, which makes it very, very difficult to stop a Gyarados once it gets set up. I've, trust and believe, been swept by this thing a couple times. However, I should mention, since it becomes a Water Dark type instead of a Water Flying type, moves that Kingler can learn, such as X-Scissor or Superpower, which are incredibly hard-hitting physical moves, especially when stabbed, but they're not on Kingler, would decimate at least Mega Gyarados. Also, with Kingler being able to learn moves like Rock Slide, that could also be a serious problem for Gyarados. But all around, Gyarados has better stats. However, Kingler has a bit more of a physical, either sweeper set or physical defensive set. Also, I should mention their weaknesses. Kingler has only 2 times weaknesses of Electric and Grass, which is not that bad. Gyarados, at least regular Gyarados, has a 4-time weakness to Electricity and Rock type. Grass type moves are neutral because he's part Flying type in his normal form. However, with his Mega form, he becomes weak to Electric, Grass again, Fighting, and Bug, which winds up the diversity of how to take down Mega Gyarados. However, like I said before, if he gets set up, he's gonna sweep your team. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below who you think is a better Pokemon, Gyarados or Kingler. I personally like both, and whoever you like is perfectly fine with me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. And also, if you really do enjoy my content, why not subscribe? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out.